What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Football Chatbox. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at two plans, a wildcard plan for Game Week 2 and a free hit plan. Now, after speaking to quite a lot of you in chat and live streams, I know that quite a few of you already have thought about a free hit for Game Week 2, and some of you have already pressed the wildcard as well. So this video should help both of you in whichever category you fall. And if anyone else here is thinking about triple captaincy, go check out the podcast yesterday that I had with Karan, and we had a pretty good discussion about playing triple captaincy. It's time stamped as well, so you can go exactly to that specific moment of the podcast. But yeah, in this video, we're going to be looking at wildcard and free hit. But first, let's start with the free hit plan, and I'll go through all my moves, explain everything. And if you like the video at the end of it, please do hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, because it helps the channel, and we're trying to get to 850 subscribers. Having said all of that, let's get straight into the video. All right, my game week 2 free hit plan. Ignore the bench. The bench is basically just try to put the lowest possible options in every single spot as possible, because you're probably not going to use the bench in a free hit. First of all, I'll start by saying I am not a big fan of playing the free hit in game week 2. That's just my preference. But if you want to play it, this is one specific type of squad that you can go for. What I've tried to do is target the City fixture, obviously. So I've gone Haaland, I've gone Phil Foden. Now, I do expect Foden to start, but we aren't fully guaranteed of that. We may get some leaks. Generally, in the last season, we've got leaks for Manchester City when the kickoff is on the same day. So there's a chance that we could maybe get some leaks. Maybe we'll get to know whether Phil Foden is starting or not. And if he is, then you could actually go for it, because it's a different type of player that not many people, actually a majority of people wouldn't have him. So he could be a very good differential, which is why I've got him on the free hit. And then we've got Rico Lewis as well. He will most likely start as well for the moment. So he's not a bad option to have there for a free hit option. Very attacking fullback. And 4.5, it helps with the budget. So that's why we've gone for the 3 City players. Then talking about Liverpool, I've gone Salah and Trent on a free hit. So it's a good double up for Liverpool. Salah looked great. Trent also looked great. Both of them looked great in the last game. And against Brentford at home, they should do pretty well. Next one to target would be the Fulham fixture, and I've gone for Muniz, Smith-Rowe, and Robinson, all 3 of the most attacking players from Fulham. If you didn't want to go Smith-Rowe, you could go Andres Pereira as well, to be honest, to be somewhat like different, because Andres will be on set pieces and free kicks, potentially on penalties as well. You could go for Andres Pereira, and I won't be against it as well. He might be a very slightly good differential option as well if you wanted to go for Andres Pereira over Smith-Rowe. I think that's also a pretty good option compared to those who already have Smith-Rowe. So for you just to be different, that's not bad. We've gone for Eze. Had played really well in the last game, should have had a goal, unfortunately disallowed wrongfully. And playing against West Ham, not a bad fixture for him, so we've gone for Eze. If you wanted to get someone else in there, like an Nkunku, if you thought, like, Chelsea against Wolves, you want to go there, you can. It's not a bad option, to be honest. I've gone Solanke because Everton right now got defensive problems. They've got injuries in their defense. Ashley Young, red card, all of that. Solanke played 90 minutes. I did see a small rumor about him having not trained, so you might want to just wait and see what happens with the press conference news about that. At the time of recording, I haven't gotten any update about it. But for me, Solanke is a pretty good option against Everton, or just like a Spurs attacker. And if Son does come off the bench, come off the pitch early like he did in the last game, Solanke will most likely be the player who's on penalties then. So I've gone for Solanke there as well. And in goal, I've gone for Sanchez. Just because I needed a 4.5 goalkeeper. And to be honest, there aren't... Like, your 4.15, like, Flecken has Liverpool. Steele has United. Henderson has West Ham, but they've just lost Anderson. What is that going to say about Crystal Palace's defense? It's a bit hard to tell. Leno has Leicester, but I don't have the budget to go there. So, which is why I've gone Sanchez, just because he has Wolves and Chelsea. Maybe they'll be better. Hard to say, but I've just gone for Sanchez. You can go for another 4.5 if you wanted to, but nothing really else to say about it. So yeah, this is my free hit game week 2 draft. Let me know what you think about in the comments, and let me know if I'm missing anyone. We can have a look in terms of players. I think there are definitely various options you can go with and various players you can target, but this is just one draft. And if you've reached up to this point, smash that like button and smash that subscribe button, and let's get into the wildcard plan for game week 2. Now, wildcard, it's a slightly different one. Let's start with the goalkeepers. I've gone for Leno, and Fabian's case just the 4.0. You can go and pick another 4.0. The reason I've gone for a 5.0 goalkeeper over the two 4.5s, mainly due to Henderson, where Palace, like, they've lost Anderson as well. So I kind of maybe weakens Palace. So the rotation of Henderson with Flecken, I'm not sure how strong that's going to be. You could actually still go for just one 4.5 goalkeeper in your wildcard and just go with a 4.0 as well. I've seen people do that. I'm not against it, but I think Leno with the signing of Anderson as well for Fulham, I think they will improve defensively. It'll make them much more stronger. So I've gone for actually double Fulham defense. It's up to you whether you want to take the same route. This draft also has 0.4 in the bank. Some of you might have 0.5 in the bank. Some of you might be able to do certain moves because, like, I've got Diego Jota, who was risen in price at the time of making this. So if you already had him, you might be able to do a few different moves, and I'll explain that as well. But yeah, I've gone for the double Fulham defense with Robinson. I think Robinson is one of the most attacking, and probably with the fixtures, one of the best 4.5 defenders that you can get from a fullback. I've gone for Trent because he looked really good. I've gone for Guardiola over a Rico Lewis. I still don't want to risk the Rico Lewis punt on a wildcard just because of the uncertainty in terms of minutes and all of that. You could take that risk if you wanted to, but I've avoided it. The reason I've gone Guardiola here is not only 6 million is like a really good sideways move to an Arsenal defender when their fixtures like get better. But also, like, if you wanted to go down, it's possible, like to a 5.5. If you want to go back to Porto, something like that, that's also a really good option to do. So I've gone for Guardiola just because of the like price point. He's at a pretty good price point where you can go down or sideways to an Arsenal defender if needed, right? So that's why I've gone Guardiola in here. On the bench, the other two defenders are Konsa, because Aston Villa are about to get onto a really good run. Now, the con of you guys maybe wildcarding in game week 2 is there's a possibility there might be a 4.0 Aston Villa defender who turns up, but at this moment we can't really tell. There is also a possibility that Aston Villa defense isn't going to be great this season, and it might be a trap getting Konza even though the fixtures are good. That's the only thing I would add to this. But yeah, when you wildcard in game week 2, you have still very limited information. So I definitely don't agree. Like, I wouldn't wildcard unless you had already bench boosted in game week 1 and you kind of had to do it in game week 2. But still not very fond of wildcarding in game week 2. Too little, like, we don't have enough information. Transfer window is open already, and like transfer window is still open, and we've already seen a few managers getting screwed over by transfers happening, like Anderson moving to Fulham and Alex Moreno moving to Forest and all of that. So there's still another week or so to go with the transfer window. So yeah, just keeping that in mind. I've gone for Greaves from Ipswich because their fixtures are about to get really good in game week 3, and he's a goal threat from set pieces because once Leif Davis takes set pieces, they try to find him. He's part of a goal threat for that. That's why I've gone for Greaves from Ipswich. That rounds up the defense. Trent, we've spoken about in the free hit one as well. Really good option. And we've gone for Trent because we don't have Salah in midfield. So we've gone for Trent and the double up with Jota. Now, if you had Jota for 7.5, you'll have 0.5 in the bank. But because I made this wildcard after his price rose, it's on 7.6, which is why I have 0.4 in the bank. But we go for the double up of Trent and Jota. Jota is a minutes risk compared to Salah, obviously. Salah will play more minutes, I would say, compared to Jota, but Jota still offers value into that Liverpool attack. I've gone for Phil Foden. Now, like I said in the free hit video, if you get news that Phil Foden's going to start, he's a really good player to pick up. Now, if we don't get news that it's going to start, and let's say, for example, you had Jota at 7.5 and not 7.6 here, you can actually upgrade Phil Foden to a Bukayo Saka. Saka is at 10 million. You can upgrade Foden to Saka if you had the 0.5 in the bank. That is a move that you could look to do if you really wanted to. Or you could move him down to another player if you wanted to as well. But I've got Foden in here as a differential. If we get news he's starting, you can play him in there. I've got Nkunku as the 6.5. I still think the fixtures are good. He will come good. If he doesn't, you just sub him to another 6.5. Maybe a Leon Bailey from Aston Villa in game week 3. If Nkunku just doesn't do well, you can just do that in game week 3. Or you could even switch it to like a 5.5 million midfielder. Depends on the player who stands out. Maybe you can't go Smith Rowe because obviously we've gone for double Fulham defense unless you don't do that. You could find another 5.5 who probably stands out. Or 6.5. Leon Bay, like I said, Garnacho could become an option as well. So yeah, there are a few 6.5s also in the market that you could look at. And we're going for Eze, same way how I explained in the free hit. He's a really good player, should have scored, unfortunately, in the last game. Fixtures are still pretty decent for Crystal Palace, and he is the talisman for Crystal Palace as well. So I've gone for Eze. Up front, I've gone for Havertz. Even though the fixtures are hard, I think Arsenal will score goals, and I wanted an Arsenal attacker. So if you don't go for Havertz, I would try and see if I can get Saka in instead. I would still like an Arsenal attacker. End of story. That's purely why I've got Havertz in there. Haaland, because of the Ipswich fixer, and also the fact that we don't have Salah. If you don't have Salah, you probably should be having Haaland in your draft. Fixtures are good for City as well. And then I've gone for Muniz, not with the armband obviously, but I've gone for Muniz because good fixtures for Fulham. And you don't have that Fulham attacker in here. So, like no Smith Rowe, no Andres Pereira. So you go for the Fulham attacker with Muniz over here. And on the bench for midfielder, we've gone for Rodgers at the 5 million spot. I think he's probably the best 5 million option right now. And because you don't have Leon Bailey, Rodgers is the next best Aston Villa attacker for the moment until obviously Ollie Watkins gains his form back. So yeah, this is the Game week 2 wildcard. The players you're missing obviously are like a Salah and Isak from Newcastle. Those are some of the standout names that are kind of missing. Obviously, you can't get them all, but let me know what you think about this draft. And depending on the transfer budget you have left, you could probably go to a Phil Foden to a Saka if you wanted to, or you could downgrade Havertz to a Joe Pedro and still upgrade Foden to a Saka. That's another possibility as well. The only reason I went for Havertz is because instead of Joao Pedro is mainly because I like that price point at 8 million. It gives you the flexibility to go to any other like 7 million or 7.5 million striker. And that might appear as options, or even 6 million like Visa in game week 6. That's why I didn't want to go all the way down to Joao Pedro. I wanted to have that flexibility for you to be able to go to any other striker, apart from obviously Isak and Watkins because they're more expensive. So yeah, that's basically the video for the wildcard. Let me know your thoughts. Hopefully this video has helped you. If I missed any players that you're probably considering, please put it in the comments and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. And hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you tomorrow for the deadline stream. 2 hours or 2.5 hours before the deadline. I still haven't decided exactly. Depends on what time I get home. So yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all tomorrow for the deadline stream.